So ready?
Ready.
Oh. Here's the picture about the Vietnam War. So American doesn't know much about Vietnam until the Vietnam War started in 1955, and it, for example, it began in it's ended in 1975, and April 30, 1995. So the North Vietnamese communists, also you can call it like Viet Cong, they took over the South Vietnamese, South Vietnam. So the people doesn't have nowhere to go because of North communists. The North Vietnamese communists, they tortured people, and they also like took people poverty, and especially the rich people when they have the big company. So they took everything that they have. So the South Vietnamese people doesn't have anything left. So they decided to escape Vietnam, to go to this island called Phi Dong Island. It's located in the east coast of Malaysia. And my grandma and my aunt were one of them, because they took over her house, everything, and then she has nothing left in Vietnam, so she decided to leave Vietnam. Here's the pictures of the island, what it look like right now. And these the people arrived, this church, and the houses. So today I'm going to talk about where do people do after the Vietnam War, and then why do people go to this island in Malaysia instead of someone else, and the reaction of the Vietnamese refugees when they live in the island, and also the process they have to go through on the island before they like go to any other country, and then what happened after the refugee left the island. So after the war, the North Vietnamese communists they came to South Vietnam, and they tortured all the South Vietnamese people. The people, especially the rich people, they also they send them to the village, like all the way to in the North Vietnam where the communists came from, and they torture them, like make them work as in the farm, and so the South Vietnamese people doesn't have the power to fight back anymore, so they decided to escape. So now I'm talking about the island. So the Vietnamese, like most of them, the South Vietnamese, most of them, they came to this island with American soldier, because after the war in 1975, the American soldier leave South Vietnam. So most of the people live with the American soldier, but there's still 1,000 people left over there. So they decided to make boats. So they want to they live with the boat, and then they don't have nothing but the compass and the map. So the first boat was with 47 refugees. So that first boat, they didn't have anything besides but the map and the compass. And so they just like lost in the ocean, and then there's 1,000 of them died in the ocean because of the boat sinking. And they found, as they go on the ocean, they found this island was near Vietnam. So there's only a few Malaysian people live on an island, but they don't have any like government to manage it. So like they decided to stay there and then create new homes. So the camp opened on August 8, 1978. The total, so that's what the first boat with 47 people. So after a year later, January 1979, the total of 18,000 refugees. And then the number kept increasing after 1979 because people send letter and mail back home saying that, oh, they found this island in East Coast Malaysia. So now I'm talking about the reaction, like how do people react on the island. So first, as you know, South Vietnamese people, like they're mostly like rich people. So after they got kicked out by the communists, they didn't get used to on the island because the island is just an empty island. There's anything, just like wild plants, trees. So people doesn't have anything, but people bought gold with them because money is useless. So they decided to work, all the Vietnamese work together. So they decided to build homes, but the home is not like bricks, it's built by trees and stuff. So the process that people have to go through on an island, that they can't get water, clean water, because like most of water is like dirty water. So they use the tropical rainstorm water, and they're filthy, and then they do the camp. So they pretty much use the water to clean it first, and then before they use it. So they started to create a clean water system so that everyone can drink healthy. But they only but each person only have 1 gallon per day per family. So it's not anyone can have water just 1 gallon per day and per person. On the island, there are many immigrants official from a different country. They visit the island and then an island to interview a refugee to resettlement abroad. So they have to, the immigration official, they require them to learn English for 6 months. So basic English, so like when they go to another country, they would know the English to interact with people. And also, there's also international staff from the medical, from another foreign country. They come like check up like the refugees' health problem. So and then also it's like they have to go through the different kind of drug tests to be able to go to a foreign country, to the country that they have no one to go to. So the United Nations Commissioner also assisted the refugee. So they're permitting around 7,000 to 14,000 refugee to per month to like either Canada, Europe, and Australia, but mostly in America. So also, they need to have gold to trade, to make trade with like official, because they want money. So if you give them money, they will like write up like the paper document for you, so you can go to different countries like faster instead of waiting there for like a year or 2 years. If you give them a lot of gold, you can just go like 2 months, 3 months. Yeah, so like most people resettlement abroad, and then so people, after a while, people left the island. The population increased by a lot, like by like almost 200,000 refugees, because most of people already resettlement abroad to a different country. And then the camp closed on October 30th in 1991. 250 people, like, they got stayed at the camp, so they resided in the camp. And then there's still like 7,000 refugees remaining in the island, but have to send back to Vietnam, so because nobody sponsored them. So in 1999, the then official after the camp closed, so they made the island for like my tourist visit in 1999. So perhaps you know more about Vietnamese Vietnam history, about like how the South Vietnamese people come to America and Europe and stuff, and then the problem they have to go through. So we have to respect them. And the immigrants nowadays, they don't really cherish what they got because they got me. But the immigrant back then, it's really hard. A lot of them lost their life on their way to an island, and they also lost their life like during the war. So like, I think you have to cherish the immigrants today. Need to cherish what they have, and